Hi there everybody, and welcome to the Big OGGIE Bakehouse. Or should I say today, as I've got Japanese t-shirt on, konnichiwa. Reason we got Japanese, the reason why I'm speaking awful Japanese today, is because we're going to make a challenging cake. Okay, this is called a jiggly cake, for reasons that will hopefully become apparent later. It's also called cotton cake. I think someone's also called it cloud cake, but I'm pretty sure that's something else. So this is a Japanese cheesecake sponge called a jiggly cake, invented around 1948 in Hakata, remember rightly, and then taken on by the Americans, and they loved it. So the cotton cake became the jiggly cake, and here we are. It's not necessarily complex to put together, but it's very touchy about temperatures on ovens, and being a Japanese, everything's got to be precise. So we're going to have a go. Okay, now I've looked at about 20 or 30 recipes of this right now, and so I've adapting stuff already. I've not even tried it yet. I've adapted a couple of things to give a bit more taste. Okay, so we're going to go through the ingredients quickly. So I'm going to read this off of this, plus add a couple more. Okay, so bear with me. This is an unusual cake. Okay, so we have 8 egg yolks. Yes, 8 egg yolks, 13 egg whites. Some of these recipes have 5 egg yolks and about 6 egg whites, 7 egg whites. This is the big recipe I found. 8 egg yolks, 13 egg whites. We've also got 7 tablespoons of butter, which works out to be, for the American, about 3.5 ounces. We've got 4 ounces of cream cheese, quarter of a cup, 60 grams of plain flour, quarter a cup of cornstarch, which is corn flour, 60 grams, 2/3 of a cup of granulated sugar. They're saying we're going for caster sugar because we're going to make a meringue, and it's 130 grams of that. So hot water, which we'll explain in a while, and that's about it. But I've also added a couple of other things. 2 tablespoons, it sounds a lot, it's from another recipe for this, 2 tablespoons of vanilla extract, and quarter of a teaspoon, remember rightly? Oh, top of my head, sorry, half a teaspoon of cream of tartar. We're also going to add a dash of lemon juice. Reason for that is some people say this is a very eggy flavour when it's warm, and some people like having other flavours. I know Kelly doesn't like really eggy things, but I've been wanting to try this for ages. I've been to Japan 2 or 3 times in my life, loved the place a bit, seen this cake there, want to give it a try. But like I said, there's so many recipes out there. So many people have said, oh, it's taken them 6 or 7 times to try and get this right. We're doing it today, one off, never done it before in my life. So let's crack on, okay? So forgive me if I read this. We're going to use basically the recipe from Tasty. Now you'll probably seen Tasty on Facebook and Instagram. They're the ones who've got all those overhead pictures, and they do all of really quick things. So I've looked at their recipe, I've looked at their video numerous times, so we're going to basically use their recipe. There are hundreds of this, as I said. So we'll start off with, over a small pot, over a medium heat, whisk together your butter, your cream cheese and your milk until smooth. So I'm going to go and do that behind me, get that done, and we'll come back to you. Once you've done that, let that go cool. Now forgive me for this, it's been a bit rushed today, a bit messy already. I'm trying to just do a little bit of film whilst I'm actually doing this at the same time. Kelly is unavailable this morning, so I'm having to do this all by myself. So I'm filming with one hand and whisking with the other. Won't show you much of this, it's just going to blend together like a little custard, and then that'll be it. We'll come back. Now, because like I said, I'm making this up a little bit as I go along, we're going to add the vanilla into this wet stuff. So I think that's probably the best place to put it. And then we carry on until we've got a nice smooth, let's say smooth batter. Basically it'll just be a smooth concoction, and then we'll let this cool. We'll go to stage 2. You're basically making a custard of a kind. No lumps, okay? That's the important thing with all this to do with this cake. No lumps anywhere. Okay, whilst we let that go cool, I've just put the oven on. The oven is preheating to 160 degrees Celsius, 320 Fahrenheit. It will change later in this. It's quite a complex idea here. And we've also, or Kelly's done it because she's brilliant, we've also lined, we've greased a springform tin, sponge tin, and we've lined it as well. This is an 8-inch, they're saying 10, but we couldn't find the next bit to work. So this is an 8-inch, and we've also wrapped it in 2 layers of foil. And the reason for that is it's going to go in a kind of bain-marie, and the only thing we've got to fit any of our other ones is this. So this will have water in it up to a couple of centimetres. It will also have some kitchen foil in it, sorry, kitchen paper in it, and that's to help the water disperse underneath the pan. So that will then go into that will then go into the oven, and it'll kind of bake very slowly in its own little bath. The water in that will be hot before we put it in, okay? So just let it finish going cool, and we'll come back for the next stage. Okay, only took a couple of minutes for that mixture to cool down. So we're going to do the next bit. The next bit is the egg yolk situation. So we put all the egg yolks into a bowl, and we give them a whisk. The idea is you whisk these up until they're smooth, and then we start adding the other ingredients. Everything we'll basically be adding into this to make a batter, and then we'll do like a meringue with the egg whites and the sugar. Just going to beat this up a minute. Again, it has to be beaten until it's smooth. That looks pretty good to me. So then we'll add the other ingredients. So now we're going to do is just start pouring this mixture very slowly into this. Now this is lukewarm now. If it goes too hot, it'll curdle into scrambled eggs, which we don't want. A little bit at a time just to get this going. Now we just bring it in more. And that's all your wet ingredients. There we go. And to that we're going to start putting the dry ones in. Now, like I said, we've added a couple of extra things here, so I'm going to add the cream of tartar to the flour. And now it's just a case of putting all the dry ingredients in. Now again, because we want everything super smooth, no lumps, we're going to put the corn flour in with the flour itself, or the cornstarch in with the flour itself, and the cream of tartar one in one. Okay. Now we're going to sift all this into our egg mixture. Do it a bit at a time, get plenty of air in it. Air is the most important thing in this recipe. Just remember, no lumps, okay? No lumps anywhere. Plenty of air. Don't call this cotton cake for nothing. There we go. Now we're going to mix this up together until we've got a smooth batter. That'll take a minute or two, we'll come back to you. Okay, so that's all blended together. It's like a very thin custard at the moment. So we're going to do the meringue. Put that to one side a second. So into a mixer, we're going to put 13 egg whites. Don't think I've ever cracked as many eggs in my life in one go. And this is going to be on obviously, so it's going to take a while So once these are starting to be whipped up, I'm going to start adding the sugar very slowly, a little bit at a time, until we have, people are saying stiff peaks meringue, but another person has said, again, have soft peaks, because they reckon if you overbeat them it goes wrong. So we're going to go for soft peaks. Okay, so we're going to carry on with that. We'll blend in, we'll blend out. Also, don't beat it too fast. Medium speed probably. A little bit at a time. We're making a few other recipes soon with meringues. I love making pavlova, so that'll be another one we're going to do. But for today, we're Japanese. Turning Japanese, I think I'm turning Japanese. I really think so. Sorry. Right, back in the room. Back in the room. And one thing you must remember when you're making meringue is the bowl you use has not got to have any grease at all in it whatsoever. Make sure it's really clean, make sure it's really washed out and dry, okay? Otherwise the meringue will never work. Obviously going to take a while. I might even clear up. Back in a minute. As you can see, it's starting to foam up quite nicely now. Won't be long before we get them around. Okay, so that's your egg whites done. It's looking really good. Take that out. Now, the idea of this now is that you put about a quarter of the egg white into the mixture, your cool mixture before, and you fold that in. You're not going to use a whisk. And then you start working the rest in until you have one very light and airy mixture. This reminds me of floating islands, very much like that at the moment. We're just going to cut this in and fold it in. It got a bit messy to start off with, but that's fine, it'll all go light again. Just don't beat it, you know, we're just trying to keep as much air in this as possible now. It took a long time to produce the amount of air in that meringue. I say, even making pavlovas, I don't make this much meringue in one go. That's when I start thinking we seriously need a bigger tin. But, you know, we had to stick with the ingredients we got and the measurements we've got to try this out. So there will be surplus. This needed a 10-inch tin. We've only got an 8. As I said, the reason for the fact we've only got an 8 is because the pan we're going to put that into, we don't have a big enough pan to do it any bigger than that. So we'll just accept the fact that we'll have surplus. If it works, we can put another out later. Wow. Amazing. If this works, well, so what you've got now is a super light mousse, quite literally. So it's banana flavoured. I'm not sure where to put the lemon in. Let's leave the lemon out, because that was on 1 or 2 of the recipes. Some say yes, some say no. So there it is. So, as I said, the oven is currently on at 150 and it's now preheated. This is your pan, you're going to put some water in. This is hot water. I boiled it a couple of minutes ago, so it's still hot. And inside this pan, there is also some paper towel. Right, let's put it onto this stone because that's quite hot. Okay. And the mixture we now put into our springform tin. There's a lot of mixture. So we're going to put a load of this in. Smooth it off. We have a lot of mixture. Oh, we have a lot of mixture. So what you do now, apart from eating it, you tap it down, just like if you would do a macaroon. You're just moving the air from it, the bubbles, sorry, from it. Just flattening this off a little bit. I'm going to put it in the bain-marie. And I'm going to carefully get it in the oven. Back in a sec. Okay, so that's in the oven. This has to go on for 25 minutes, so we're going to time it right now. And then we drop the oven down. We drop the oven down, just check, to 140 degrees Celsius, and then we're going to leave it for another 55 minutes, it says. So in about an hour and a half, we should have a jiggly cake, or a massive mess. We shall see. Come back and find out. Hi everyone, Kelly's here. She's back from being indisposed. Hello Kelly. The cake has now been in the oven for 25 minutes at the 160. I've just turned it down to 140 and it stays in for another 55 minutes. We're not opening the oven or anything. It's like a big cloud in there, okay? So hopefully after that we'll find out. At the moment it looks really nice. It looks kind of what it's supposed to look like. It's got a little very, almost slightly caramel top, very just lightly brown. We'll see what happens. I've been really good. I've cleaned up. I actually washed up and put some in the dishwasher. Dishwasher's on. Was that good?
That's why Kelly's here, because she's tidying up.
Oh, I'm washed up. What more do you want? I'm a man. I do it best.
Splash a bit of water out.
I splash a bit of water about, yeah.
Right,
So, come back to us when it's ready. We're going to nip out and get some strawberries. Hopefully. That is a jiggly cake.
And it's jiggly.
And it's jiggly. That.
Put it on them.
Wow. Bit of icing sugar.
Bit of icing sugar. So everybody,
That is one
jiggly cake.
Japanese cheesecake sponge,
And it jiggles.
or cotton cake, or jiggly cake.
Because it jiggles.
We're going to try this in about half an hour. It says while warm. This is still red hot. We're going to nip up the road and get some strawberries because it says you're supposed to have it with fruit. It'll probably collapse a little bit before that, but that's fine. Rumour has it could be quite eggy when it's warm. I won't be keen on Kelly, but they say it's also good when it's cold for a few hours. It'll just be a bit more solid, so it will start collapsing. It's a bit like a souffle. But so we will test this out at the end of the video, okay? But thank you very much for watching. Please subscribe, please tell your friends, and in the interest of Japan, domo arigato gozaimasu.
At you.
See you in a little while. We'll try it out in a second.
Right.
Come on.
So, as you can see, I'm ready to go out. We're all both ready to go out. The jiggly cake is sunk quite a lot, which it will do because it's sort of like a souffle thing. But John's panicking that it's going to sink even further by the time we go up the shops to get some strawberries. So we're going to cut a slice now and taste it now.
Yeah, I'm kind of worried it's not cooked to the bottom. It's a bit wet. But then this is the first time I've ever tried this, and there may have been some water leakage. You just don't know. It's just one of those experiments.
No, it's cooked through, love.
Not bad.
It's definitely cooked through.
It's a little bit more dense than I was expecting. But I think that probably, again, a bit more cooking might have been needed. Don't know. Oh yeah. So this is fairly hot still. It could be quite eggy.
It sort of melts away to nothing.
Well, this is what they say. This is the lightest kind of sponge cake they'll ever have.
It is eggy though. It's not so bad when you're eating it, it's the after egg.
Quite like it.
Yeah.
Like we said, it'd be nice with fruit. We're thinking about maybe a little coulis with it, like a little raspberry coulis or a
Try and
strawberry
get some
coulis.
strawberries or some raspberries and try it with that. Try that top bit.
That is really good.
You like it?
Yeah, that is. Well, cotton, really. That is just like eating a super duper sponge. I don't get the aftertaste. So let's go and get some strawberries and we'll hopefully put something together with this, but it tastes great. It's going to collapse even more, but that's kind of what it is. You normally would get it out of the oven, it's still warm, you kind of eat it as it is.
I don't think it will shrink anymore because I don't think it can shrink anymore.
Good. Really nice.
You still see the steam coming out of it.
Lovely. Right, let's go and get the strawberry. Okay everybody, we are back. We've been up the local shops, managed to get hold of some really lovely local Cornish strawberries. And we also got a little punnet of raspberries, which we have made into a little raspberry coulis. With a little bit of icing sugar, a dash of water, warmed it up, blitz it through a sieve. And we're going to cut some of this now. It's cool.
It's still slightly warm.
Yeah, and it's obviously, like we said, it's collapsed a little bit, but that's kind of nice. Doesn't matter. So we'll move this out of the way in a second and we'll show you the finished article on a plate.
There we go.
Very good. Not particularly arty, but you know. They say serve it with strawberries. We think it probably needed a little bit of sauce to go with it. Enough?
Enough.
So I'm just going to take a quick photograph because we need one for our pictures, obviously.
Do you want me to take a picture of you with it?
Oh no,
No.
I wouldn't need it for posterity though.
Okay, so here we go.
So on the walk, Kelly asked me while she's trying it, carry on, would I do this again in the same way that we've discussed the custard tart? And yes, I would. I'd say it's not as good as the custard tart, that's just a personal thing. But it does evoke memories of Japan, and that's another important reason why I'd like to do it again. I also think it might need a little bit longer cooking because it was a little bit moist at the bottom. It's one of those kind of things that's like sourdough bread. There seems to be an awful lot of people out there around the world who keep trying to make this better and better. So for a first time out, I'm really pleased. But there are lots of tiny little variations. Maybe the oven wasn't quite right, maybe the whipping was a little bit too much in the meringue, it did split very slightly on the top. All those little perfections that the Japanese are really good at trying to sort out. So we will try it again. But what do you think? Now we've got a bit of extra flavour with it.
Yeah.
Oh, maybe got it, okay. That's going to drip. Oh, well.
I think with the coulis it's lush.
Really good, isn't it?
Much better with fruit.
Yeah, and it did say serve with strawberries, we just didn't have them on time with us. It's a really good sponge. It's moist, but it's really light. I kind of described it as a very posh sponge pudding, because you kind of steam it in the oven, but it's better than that. And it's actually not very sweet. You'd think it would be with the sugar and everything in it, but it's not. Very good. I think it's very good. It's
actually only got a small amount of sugar in it. It's not even got that much sugar
actually,
in it.
So calorie-wise, it's actually really good. It's one of those things you can have quite a lot of, and it doesn't really matter too much because it's basically just egg and very little sugar. That's really nice. So try this recipe. I know it's a bit of a faff around getting the tin done and everything, but once you've done it, once you've done that bit, when you've done the prep, it's dead easy to put together. Try it. Try it and enjoy it. Let us know what you think. It will collapse a bit, don't panic. Just have a bit of fun trying things sometimes. Just try different experiences. We will try.
Out of 5, I'd give it 4.
Yeah, definitely 4.
A good solid 4.
It's my job to try and make it a 5 at some point. So thanks so much for watching. Again, we've already said please subscribe to all that. We will bring you more delicious recipes, more recipes from around the world. Some will go wrong, some won't. Today, it didn't actually go wrong. One up to me. Bye for now, everybody.
Bye.
Yeah, it's really nice with the fruit.